There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea.
Never smile in my photos. Penthouse view downtown. Hold up what that bank look like. Extended on my credit line. A lot of noise coming out your mouth. Bet you bought a ticket just so you could say you saw it when the shit went down. Where that nigga at now? Now you got your wishes, had to sell the wisdom. People say I'm fine.
You've gone too deep.
Be the man, now the man's down.
There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Odyssey Esports 2023 Season 1, Week 2 triple header. This is the voice of Lord Solarbear. Joining me in the casting booth is none other than Me Patel, who is probably best known for leading the league in deaths per game. I'm not sure what other accolades you have, B. I assume so. I don't know. I mean, we didn't have a great week one game, but hey, we're bouncing back. We're coming to the casting booth because we can't get enough of Solar's Eclipse. So even on our bye week, we're here to play. We've got an interesting game ahead of us tonight, folks. We have number 4 versus number 7. We have the Bushy Boys facing off against the Legion of Watchers. Are we going to start with that one, Mipa, or are we starting with a different group? Oh, you're changing it up on me. The Spark Unknown versus. Wait, is that Fiddle Eats Teemo? That is a terrifying logo. I don't think I saw that up close yet. Like, that's actually like really graphic. Like the fork. What? I'm trembling in my boots. I'm pretty scared of that actually. But yeah, I didn't even have like any kind of fiddle nightmare kind of feelings or anything like that. But I know I'm not going to sleep tonight. That's going to become my new sleep paralysis demon. Holy smokes! Well, this should be a pretty interesting matchup that we have coming down. So Fiddly's Teemo is obviously showcasing Smokestacks as their team captain. Into Spark Unknown, who has none other than Kiko as their team captain. So you have players on different sides of the map who are coordinating their teams, hopefully to victory tonight. Is there a particular matchup that you're looking to see, that you're looking to highlight?
I mean, there's some things like there's obviously like there's the Sejuani for Blue Jay. He's somebody who has played a lot of carry junglers in the past, but took a little bit of a break from League, has kind of pivoted more towards that kind of facilitator style. It's something that he does very well. Played it last week, looked really, really good on it. Was actually pulled off a couple bot dives. Was really, really a spearhead for this team. So something like that coming out from, I think that's when this team performs best. For the side of Spark, playing around kind of the fact that right now I think they have a lot of mystery surrounding their team. We don't really know who's going where. They haven't really disclosed that because last week they had 2 subs in that bot lane. So this is the first time we really get a look at Spark Unknown. So far they have been quite unknown, as the name alludes to. A lot of off-rolling happening last week. Setnu was in jungle. I'm pretty sure Setnu is not going to be the main jungler for this team. I think it's going to be Kiko, but again, Sup Bro, all these people, they can play. Yep, exactly. W subs, Sio and Kioske last week. Pulling their weight actually gave the enemy bot lane of, I believe it was Ace and Pyro on Bushy Boys, a run for their money. Kioske with some deadly hooks. Sio just being a rock in that bot lane throughout the entirety of that laning phase. So, for the major question marks are, will Jay play that kind of facilitating style, and will Spark be able to kind of, now that I think they have their full roster today, so will they be able to solve a lot of the question marks that surround them and really show that kind of dominant force that they were thought to be when that team was drafted?
I'm pretty excited about this roster, honestly, for Spark because, little known fact, but Supro is actually a former Jhin player. He also has been a support player in the past, so he's got a lot of flexibility. And just like you were alluding to, like who's gonna go in what lane, we're gonna find out. I'm pretty interested in the top lane matchup if it is Setnu into Smoke, because to me those are two players who play very similar champions. And have a very similar play style of I'm going to skill check you. If I win, then I'm going to get a huge lead and just run away with this gold advantage. And I'm curious to see which of those two players will get an advantage if that is the lane assignments that we're going to see. The only lane matchup that I'm pretty confident about is I'm pretty sure it's going to be Keisha to Illuminus in the mid lane. And that's going to be a slugfest. Quiche is a very proficient player across a myriad of mids, and Illuminus has made a name for himself playing all kinds of really annoying champions like Vladimir and Cassiopeia and Victor.
Yep,
So
and
I'm pretty excited about it.
draft is currently not being super cooperative. Not exactly sure why,
Mhm.
so it does just get kind of flashed on the screen for today. But right now it looks like the picks, all of them, fairly like I would say standard for both teams. The main big things that jump out is Lumi on that Kled has been an absolute menace on it in solo queues, put in a lot of games. And then Echo
Mhm.
does get his return for Blue Jay. You know, the Children of Zon, his last team was named after it. Solar, you were on that team. Um,
I
his
was.
Echo was feared, permaban, never got to play it. Maybe you can pull
We
that one back out.
we got an Echo game. But it was a pretty hilarious game because we didn't really need it. But yeah, Blue Jay loves Echo. He's very proficient on this champion. It looks like they're gonna run it back with Varus Nautilus, which week one went really well for Fiddle Eats Timo. And Xerxes showed a ton of proficiency on Nautilus and just making sure he was getting in there and making plays. Flip side of the map, though, I mean, we have some. Oh, excuse me. Actually, that's. Oh yeah, no, I'm right. I'm right. Flip side of the map, though, I mean, Fizz eats bars for breakfast. So does Wukong. Those are champions that have a ton of potential just to deal with them. And Mordekaiser has some outplay potential into a set, into a Nautilus, into a Varus because you can just Shadow Realm through the CC essentially. And then you can 1v1 somebody, pop back out with some bonus stats and win the team fight for your team. So I like this. I think SPK is playing more of a defensive, maybe bide their time and wait for a counter engage style. Whereas I think Vet just wants to run it right up the gut, get their engages in, stack their CC, and just blow up this Spark Unknown team. So we're gonna have to see where the chips fall and which lane assignments come out of this.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things is, if I'm correct, and it is Setnu going in the bot lane, which I'm pretty sure he is. Setnu does, I mean, not Setnu, Supro actually gets his Ezreal. I believe it's gonna be Setnu top. And speaking of
Mhm.
Setnu as well, Setnu getting that Mordekaiser, something that was so pivotal in his last championship for the side of Catalyst of Ruin, an absolute menace there in the top lane, actually able to squeeze out so much pressure in those last two games when he was able to get it. So definitely a pick that he's resorted to a lot, just off of pure comfort, and something that Fiddle eats Timo. I keep saying Fiddle as if there's a champion name, like the Fiddle is being played, but Fiddle eats Timo is gonna have to look out for from him here in the top lane.
I think so. I'm excited to see this.
I am too, as we get the game kind of loaded up here.
So I am not super familiar with the Kled mid matchup. I assume it's counterpick into Assassins because he can essentially just say, "Hey, get in here. You can't get away from me. I have two forms of engage to uh, drag out fights." And Kled has always been a menace in the mid game with his ability to get his team into position. Is that kind of like generally what you're looking for, or is a Kled mid looking to maybe lane swap early with the bot lane and the split push? Like, what's the intention with that pick?
So Kled mid in general has not seen a crazy amount of play time. I believe it's been played by Caps in the mid lane for
Mhm.
G2, but for the most part, it's been really played into some of these melee mids, like the Gragas, like
Mhm.
stuff like what's another melee mid, but stuff like the Grag, essentially that's the premier one that's been playing a lot. It's just ability to get in there, take these short trades, scrap, and then immediately disengage is something that can be played around really, really extensively in this mid lane. Setnu might actually be caught out here.
And
Blue Jay.
Whoa there. Setnu just holding the bush in a classic 5 point, but is getting run down by Blue Jay. I think he's just going to be able to walk this out. He
Yeah,
takes a pretty substantial amount of hit point damage there. And that's going to delay him to lane, which could potentially be give Smoke essentially a free level to push onto him. So it could be very impactful in the top lane.
for sure. That
So
echo.
far, yeah.
That echo, able to get a little bit of vision. You can see that one ward there in that top side jungle. So, a
Yeah.
little bit of info. At the end of the day, it's not going to be too relevant here, but um, a little bit of info goes a long way, especially when you're playing against something like this Wukong, that early power that the Wukong has compared to the Echo. Echo really needs time to scale up. Wukong has those base stats that he can rely off
Uh,
of.
Wilgross. Uh, Wilgross AFK? I feel like you hit a thresh hook there and you automatically just win level 1 for free. But maybe it was a bait.
Yeah,
Interesting.
especially with that Ezreal passive stacking up, can do a lot of damage here in this early lane versus the Varus. But looks like bot lane's gonna mellow out a little bit as both engaged supports kind of fighting for that level to really want those two abilities to be able to go in. Saxus, I say
Oh,
that, but
Zex is getting on top, but oh, a huge turn off the Thresh there, dropping Ignite on top of Varus. Thresh is running away with the sliver amounts of health, but oh my god, Nautilus is getting knocked down here by this massive amount of damage from the Ezreal. Forced the pop of Flash in the bot lane. It looks like that was a pretty even trade between the two of them, but that could have been a double kill either way.
yeah, it's 1 for 2 summoners though. That heal crucially being
And
held onto by Supra. The hook coming
oh,
out onto Zex is gonna have to be flashed away.
perfect buffering.
They do hit level 2
Wow.
first, but it's not going to matter. The HP advantage is too high. Flash play coming out from Logro's going to get on to Anna, going to get on to Zex as Anna is going to fall first. Blood double kill over to Supro here on the Ezreal.
Who would have thought that Fiora mechanics translate into the bot lane so effectively? What a beautiful 2v2 there. Holding the heal, making sure the bait in this Vet bot lane who thought that they smelt some blood in the water and immediately getting shown, hey, guess what? This is why we were comfortable giving you this again.
Yeah, Jay
Second week
is
in a row.
here 1v2 versus the bot lane. I'm not sure if he wants to be there, though. He's kind of trapped. Logros is going to elect let him live. I believe the trading comes out in the top lane. The push away actually makes him miss the Haymaker. That's going to hurt. That's going to be the difference here in that trade. If that Haymaker hits, maybe it's going to go a little bit more evenly there for the side of Smoke.
And this is an Ignite set. If you run Ignite in top, you are looking for a solo kill or two in order to justify that summoner pickup. And so Mordekaiser just going even in that trade alone is already like a pretty good deal for him because, you know, he's going to be able to scale into the mid game with better sideline pressure and being able to actually like teleport into objectives or teleport onto a flank. And so this is huge for
Exactly,
SBK
and the
in that top lane.
devastating part here is Mordekaiser actually gets to back, and he should be able to hold on to that TP as well. So the pressure of that TP is going to astronomically change how Smokestacks has to play in this lane, because at any point, Setnu can just base and then reset with an item advantage, with an HP advantage, and Smokestacks doesn't have that luxury here with the Ignite.
He does not. It looks like Luminous is going to trip pretty heavily into Quiche here, who is just able to hop away. Takes a pretty substantial trade there, but should be fine for the fish. And at this point, if I'm Blue Side Fizz, I am screaming for my jungler to come help me out here. That lane has been frozen under tower for over a minute at this point. But it looks like Kiko is interested in some flashless bot laners down here. No jungler going in though. Zexus turns, and I don't know if you want that, Zexus.
Yeah, Flay
That
on
is
the Zexus. Logros used all his cooldowns. Zexus thought he could punish it, but it wasn't a 2v2 in the bot lane. Kiko was there. Lunge forward with the bear trap. Kishmat just going to disengage from that one.
On the top side, though, it looks like we almost had a solo bow on the Setnu, who is on life support up here. As Smoke is interested in maybe getting some more. Is he baiting him? Is this BM? He could just
Has
get Haymaker
flash.
there immediately.
The 1-for-1, but that is worth for Smokestacks. In that lane we talked about, he could just reset TP back, so he wasn't going to miss much there. But Smoke being able to deny that makes him miss so much of that wave. A small CS advantage actually being built up here, as well as I believe there is going to be an XP advantage, even though they're both level 5. Smoke should hit it first because of all that minion loss. Blue Jay here in the bot lane. Stun, gonna go wide. Arcane shift away from Supro, creating enough space. Logros is going to fall. Ignite coming down. Now the Nautilus passive auto already used. Supro not gonna be dropped as well, but the Kled is here.
Supro just spacing this out. Flash on top of him. Never mind, I had to cast a curse it, but whoa! Huge trade back on top of the Echo there. Turning an easy kill that should have just been a free dive into a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
But you still get the shutdown. I think you're still happy if you're fed,
don't
but
feel
wow.
like Jay had to kind of walk in on that. That level 6 that we talked about, the XP advantage, taking full control of this matchup. Smokes hit level 6, and then the missed XP there from Setnu is going to make the difference there in the top lane.
And looks like we have a hook on top of Zexus, who very intelligently does not press E, otherwise he would have definitely died there. But hold there, we have a roam up from Quiche on Smokestacks at the top lane, but he can almost win this.
The flash out from the
Kiko's
Haymaker,
here,
making sure that damage doesn't come through. Smoke hasn't been connecting with a lot of sets damage is tied up in that one ability, so making sure that it connects is absolutely paramount. But Kishmak, good roam, able to punish Smokestacks, get revenge for his top laner.
What an explosive game. What an explosive game. We just have pressure up and down the map. Looks like Kiko is Maybe running mid to try to just catch a wave. I'm getting overexcited over here, Mipa.
You never know with this team, actually. Any point, hey, Raptor Camp, hey, that's an objective. Raptor Camp is equal weight to a Baron for these two teams. Every objective is worth fighting over. Every minion these teams are fighting over. Luminous here in the bot lane. Again, I'm not getting excited.
He's
but
sniffing. He's sniffing around. He's looking. He's like, can I maybe get a couple more kills under my belt here? That's a 4-1 Ezreal. I feel like Luminous is taking that personally. He's like, I don't have the most kills in the game. Bet.
yeah,
Let me fix that really quick.
I believe the single game damage record in a Odyssey / Sand and Sea game is actually Supro and Ezreal. I believe it was 114,000.
How long was that game?
I think it was like almost an hour. It's like a 50. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 58-minute game. I believe that is correct. Don't quote me on that. It's like
That's still like 2K
it was like
damage a minute.
up there. It was way up there.
Yeah, that's pretty unheard of, especially on Ezreal. It's oftentimes hard to deal damage on Ezreal if the opposition is playing around it. And so it looks like Setnu is just trading.
Yeah, Facebreaker gonna
pretty
connect.
heavily
Cyclone coming
into-
out from Kiko. 2-man flay on Logos. Another Cyclone right in the knockups. They cannot move. Put into the bouncy castle. Nobody able to use any of their abilities. Their double kill going over to the side of Spark Unknown. Zexus here running for his life along with Anna. The Death Sentence gonna connect. And it's gonna be just that for Zexus.
What an interesting turn of events here. And it looks like Setnu is just taking huge damage from Smoke there, who R's him out of range of tower, and then the Haymaker is not quite enough to clean up this Mordekaiser, who ends up using his W shield. On the other side of the map, though, SPK is able to pick up a dragon, and so they're taking the misfortune of their top laner and they're turning it into objectives. That's a good way to get your team a lead. You can either fight into the strength of this set, or you could play around him, cross map him, and kind of leave Setnu high and dry on the top
with how
lane.
strong this Ezreal is right now, you'd be a fool not to play into this bot side. Just feels like any fight is going to be won. That being said, the hook does connect. Dredgeline gonna stun him up along with the Chains of Corruption. Huge chunk coming out from Anna on that Varus. Had so much luck with that last time. Had so much damage just in that ultimate. Supro gonna be feeling the aftermath of that one.
That's the thing about Ezreal, though, is you can kind of play fearlessly in a lot of matchups because Arcane Shift is that strong. And even though you're pairing an Ezreal up with a Thresh, that's just extra, cherry on top security for this bot lane. And so essentially, this Ezreal is looking really strong. He's got himself this Divine Sunderroot so that he could break through the big hit point bars of this set, and of this Kled, and of this potentially this Nautilus as well. So I'm liking what I see out of SPK. Vet is doing a really good job keeping the gold lead down to just a measly 300, as opposed to letting this spiral out of control. A single dragon over to SPK, also not a big deal. These teams are neck and neck.
Yeah, that Hextech Soul being the first dragon, though, is kind of good to get that one out of the way. If you are SPK, though, that's a very, very good dragon to start off your stack here. The attack speed helping out everybody. Kishmak underneath tower, caught in a 1v2. However, Kiko is there to bail out his mid laner. The 1v1 on top side, just splitting the fight off. Kiko gets Kishmak gets the solo kill there onto Blue Jay, basically, and then Kiko is there for the cleanup onto Lunas. But their names are so similar. You have Setnu, Supro, Kiko,
it's almost like a tongue twister. Smoke, Setnu, you've like Kiko, Quiche. Yeah, no, it's all over the place. All over the place. Huge, massive Nautilus R, getting both of the SPK bot lane knocked up there. But Anna maybe overextending a bit too much to get on top of Supro, who trades out 2-for-1 with that Ezreal R.
Yeah, a clean little bit of mechanics from both AD carries, though. Anna able to, be able to get that flash Q with this blight stacks on to Supro's Ezreal. So isn't completely lost there for the side of Fiddle Eats Teemo, but Zexus able to set that one up as well. Does trade his life, but at this point you kind of take those 150 gold shutdown here on the side of this Ezreal. I don't know if he had a shutdown before that. I wasn't paying that much attention, but you take whatever you can get.
You take whatever you can get. I think there was not a shutdown because Ezreal died after picking up 4 kills. So that cleared their bounty, I believe. But even still, I mean, getting a return kill is way, enormous here. In a world where Ezreal doesn't die on the back end of that play, you probably lose 2 tower plates.
Setnu has left the game. Smokestacks.
Let's see if he can kill the AFK. Ignite advantage. Ignite is just too OP, but Luminous maybe doesn't want this. It gets hit by the Fizz Shark, perfectly timed out of Kishmak. Just makes that look easy.
Exactly. That dismount coming out just a little bit before. If that dismount happens after the Shark knockup, maybe you have a chance of living that, but the timing there is really, really good. Jay trying to go for the tower, trying to get a little bit cheeky there with the ultimate. Isn't going to get that final auto, though. A little bit unfortunate. That's a big cooldown there down from Jay, so the playmaking isn't going to be there. I say that, but the comfort level on the Echo might just be enough. Tries to go in on to Kishmak here, but Kishmak dodging and weaving on the Trickster, able to trade that kill over. Jay doesn't have the ultimate tried, but just came up a little bit short.
I'm not really sure why Jay went for that trade. Seems like an unforced error, but, it happens. And huge damage there on top of this Nautilus as the Wukong comes in from the flank. Misses the Cyclone there on the support.
Yeah, the wave isn't going to be there anymore, so Kiko has to get out of dodge. Showstopper coming out here on to Setnu. Setnu taking a lot of damage, not much left here. Smoke trying to chase him down, is going to get that one. Another solo kill over to the top laner there for Fiddle Eats Teemo, the one saving grace in this game so far.
I'm starting to get scared for SBK in terms of this set. Like, what is the plan to answer him?
I don't know. It could be the 7-2 Ezreal, the 5-0 Fizz. Yeah, I feel like it's more so on Smoke to take this game back. The Death Side is coming out onto Jay again. Still doesn't have that ultimate and is walking up so aggressively without it. Luminous gonna be able to trade this turret though onto Kishmak, trying to trade as much damage as he can, getting him low. But is it going to be able to finish that one? Kishmak going to be able to flip his way away from... I wanted to say walk his way, but he doesn't really walk. Flip,
No, yeah, he doesn't walk at all. He waddles, if that even. Like, does Fizz have, like, frog feet? Like what kind of feet does he have? He's like a fish person, right? He's not an amphibian? What is Fizz? Do we have any warheads in the chat? Like, what is Fizz? Is he like a Vestian or something?
Not too sure. That's gonna
oh
connect here onto Smokestacks, pulled in full. Gritstacks Logar's gonna tank the brunt of that one. So much damage coming out. Shark gonna cut off his exit as Kishmak just goes straight through him. Let's get a feet cam here. What are we looking at? It looks like flippers.
He's got like frog feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's an amphibian. Why do people call Fizz a fish then? He's not a fish at all.
I don't know, honestly.
I'm upset. League fans are terrible biologists. Come at me.
Entomologists? No, entomology is what's the word? It's not biology. There's a word where like you're identifying.
Oh, taxonomy or something like that. I believe it's taxonomy.
Something like that. You know what?
But that's not. Yeah, I guess that would be taxonomy. Okay. Heard. All right, League fans, come at me with your telling solar that he's wrong.
Setnu hitting away on that tower. However, the collapse is coming out here as the knockup is going to go out onto Supro, buffered by that arcane shift. Logos is in there, 1v2, taking the brunt of the damage. Anna is going to be able to try. No, the heal coming out. Ignite as well. Going to trade 1-for-1 here in the bot lane. Zexus, however, he's going to have to run away. The Mystic shots coming out. The poke, the range onto Zexus. The damage is there. Knockup onto Jay. Does have the ultimate to be able to get out of this one. However, just doesn't have the time. Kiko is there. A little bit of a jungle diff so far. Kiko, you know he's typing in a chat right now. He wants to hit send, but you know, he is.
But he's making too many plays. Like, you don't have time to BM when you're all over the map like this. Kiko is putting on a clinic in this game. This game is making me kind of a little scared for SBK.
Yeah,
they're like sharks.
He's got places to be.
He's got places to be, people to kill, towers to break, ults to throw down. Let's pretend like we didn't see that Cyclone miss earlier. Don't worry, Kiko. You're playing great.
No, it's for the move speed. It's for the move speed. Zoning Cyclone.
Oh, so for the move speed. Heard.
Yeah.
Just trying to delete the minion wave, right?
Yeah, items being completed across the board for the side of Spark Unknown. A little bit trailing, but they are being completed there for Fiddle each Teemo as well. Kishmak walked to the jungle fiercely. The shark cutting off the exit there from Zex is going to be forced to flash. Descendant's going wide as well, but Jay also going to be forced out here. Illuminous trying to hold the line, trying to take back control of anything here in the jungle. Going to push them off temporarily. Looks like it's a 5-man collapse
be
here.
A little bit of a this is looking pretty good for Fett. This is their opportunity to pull the game back.
But the disengage is
pincer
there.
As the dust is settled here, it looks like we're not going to have any objectives come up over the next couple of minutes. What are these teams looking to jockey for here? My intuition is a little bit of vision control, so that the next fight can either be you can force the opposition into a face checking kind of situation. Set would love that to happen. Echo would love that to happen. So would Fizz and Mordekaiser. As looks like Wukong and Kled are going to trade down some big damage on top of each other. Luminous being dropped perilously low by this just fed Wukong. Yeah, solo bolo.
The honest answer here is you just can't have side lane mishaps right now. You're weaker in almost every lane except for this top lane, so you really just don't want to be caught out by the enemies on the side of Spark Unknown, because you kind of just have to slow down this game. You have to push waves to safe as you can push them, as far as you can push them without getting caught, and then just kind of bounce them back and forth until a major objective is up to the point where you have something that you can fight over, or you have something that you can trade around. Rift Herald is going to be dropped here in the top lane, but it's met by 2 people here, so it's not going to really be able to get much. They're going to get a little bit of damage onto this tower, but they're not going to be able to get much more than that.
So this was dropped because Smoke was trying to ward the bush. I guarantee you that's what happened, because he walked up to the bush with Mordekaiser hiding in it. Yeah. He pressed his trinket button into that bush and dropped Herald instead of warding the bush.
That's unfortunate. It happens.
We're getting that pulled up in the chat too. It does happen, especially to people who don't get Rift Herald as much. Top laners get Rift Herald fairly frequently, so I don't know, Smoke. I'm just kidding, bud. Yeah, as an AD carry player, I would 100% do that.
Yep, resets.
What is this purple ward by inventory?
Yeah, resets coming out here from both sides. Vision being clear, trying to wrestle back any form of control here if you are Fiddle eats Teemo. Kiko gonna be waiting in Pixel
this
Brush.
is we're getting close to do or die at this point. You definitely want to answer the dragon stacking on the side of SBK. I think the gold lead for Fett is, or I guess the gold deficit.
Currently
for Fett
a 4v5. Lumi trying to take advantage of that, trying to go in. The knockup is going to buy Kishmak some space to flash away as well. A little bit caught here. Facebreaker onto him. Kishmak's going to go through with that playful trickster. Blue Jay being forced to ult earlier than he would have liked. However, Kiko is in there with the ultimate. The Cyclone catching on through the Showstopper, going to take him away. Shutdown coming out onto Kiko. Huge playmaking ability gone. Smokestack in the middle of 3. That Haymaker is charged. Is he going to be able to use it? Yes, the damage is there on the Setnu, but there's just too many people, too many bodies as the rest of Fiddle East Teemo's forced to run away.
That looks like a dragon secured to Spark Unknown. Huge damage coming out of Sepros Ezreal. And honestly, Fett just could not get on top of him. I mean, in part, Ezreal is the slipperiest AD carry. Yes, he does have the best range opportunities because of his arcane, what is that called? Arcane Shot.
Arcane Shift.
Ezreal Q.
Arcane
Shift is E. What is the Q called? Mystic Shot. I should know this. And we're just demonstrating the fact that I think SBK came into this game expecting Fett to play a get in your face, let's just run straight at you, and they said, bet, okay, we're going to build a team around the fact that we know what your game plan is going to be.
I like the presence of mind there from Luminous, though. They knew that Mordekaiser's here in the top lane. He's going to be TPing into this fight. If we got to go, we got to go now. They forced the 4v5. They get so much damage onto Kishmak, but the mobility, the invulnerability, the so many tools that Fizz has to just buy time coming in clutch there, able to let the rest of his team, that Mordekaiser, that Thresh, that Cyclone from the Wukong come in, do so much disruption, and then Supro able to clean that one up on the back end with that damage from those Mystic shots coming out. So big here on the Ezreal, sitting at 9, 2, and 5.
That is a scary Ezreal. It's getting item number 3 online.
Kiko is here, the double knockup with that Warrior Trickster coming out, catching on to both. However, Smokestacks. I'm sorry, I saw Set and I'm like, Setnu. But Smokestacks with the Haymaker just deletes him.
Takes him out of the game. I think Kiko was maybe feeling a little too sure of himself in that situation. But that's that's what Smoke's here for. He's here to say, hey, buddy, I've got huge amounts of true damage. I'm fed. I'm on 2 items. I'm working on my
that ultimate
third.
coming out from the
I'm a
Kled. The
strong
speed
set in this
is
game.
there. Drudgeline getting kicked onto Setnu. Gonna pop him. Anna with the damage. The burst damage coming out from that Vars is what you drive it for. That's what you want. Kishmak gonna go in, trade over that kill on to Zex's. Blue Jay Falling Glow doesn't have that ultimate anymore. Gonna be forced to disengage. It's a 2v4 here, and honestly, I think the 2 might be winning it.
I would not be surprised if Stepbro pulled another hat trick on this Ezreal at the back end of that. But what an impressive play out of Fett. There's so many teams who would not take the opportunity to play aggressively and try to get themselves back into that game. That engage was everything. Not only does it level out the gold lead
This
in
could
terms
be a
of
small
SVK,
misplay here by Smokestacks. The entirety of his team had gone towards that bot side, so Smoke might be overstaying a little bit overextension here from that set your Fed member. Not really what you want. The 300 gold shutdown going over to Kiko as he just pops him.
Man, Caster's Curse. I was literally about to build up to the fact that, oh my god, Fett just rules this map now because they have a man advantage. Not anymore. Goodbye to Set. I almost said Set you too.
Yeah, but when
it
you're
looks like
Fett, you gotta
SBK is going to
understand.
try to rush down this Baron.
Yeah, when you're Fett, you gotta understand that when you have a good play like that and you reset, you just don't have the people. They might be alive, but they're not on the map. And Smoke getting caught out there. Kishmak trying to stone them away from the Baron. Bites off a little bit more than he can chew. Do you fish chew? I don't know. Blue Jay is in there on the Baron. However, the smite rings true for Kiko. Blue Jay not going to be able to get that one for his team. Drudgeline connecting onto Kiko as well, getting pulled in, but it's just the clone. Perfectly buffered there from Kiko here onto Illuminous, onto the background. Setnu cleaning up the bot lane for Fiddle Eats Teemo.
Clean ace for our blue team here. They're going to be able to push lanes in, get a couple of towers, get themselves set up nice and early for the next dragon, clean themselves a soul, and presumably clean this game out, assuming that they keep together like that last team fight.
Yeah, Smoke trying to mount any forward defense as the last living member here, trying to save whatever he can of this mid lane as they barrel down. Wave going to be pushed in, not much more here. Going to want to base, spend that gold from the Baron as the rest of the team is respawning, is coming back. Just really, really solid team fighting coming out from the side of Spark Unknown.
Very solid team fighting. And textbook Ezreal play too, playing that front to back. Layering is True Shot Barrage over the top of Fett. Not to pick up any kills, but to stack his passive up to make sure he has that attack speed.
Yep, Dragon spawning here.
Ezreal was just auto-attacking.
Yeah. Dragon spawning here in 30 seconds. Phillies Tim, I'm not sure if you really want to contest this one here. You have objective bounties on the map. Maybe just go for some of those instead. Cross map, whatever you can. Zex is going to be cut out here from that Fizzy ultimate. Is going to be there. The Dredge line not going to save him. Just going to buy him a little bit of time. It's now a 4v5 here. Kishmak tipping the scales into his favor.
Oh, looks like this Mordekaiser might be a little bit caught out, but no, he's fine. But huge engage there from the Thresh, just flaying into the midst of Fett. Massive damage over the top.
As well. Gonna find a 3-man knock up. The bodies are dropping. They may be the Spark Unknown, but one thing is known for sure. That is their dragon.
It's Dragon's Soul. It's a Cloud Soul, which statistically is the highest win rate dragon of them all. Even though I don't understand how that's the case. I feel like every time another team gets like an Ocean or a Mountain Soul, my chances of winning are close to 0.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure Fett had to fight there.
Yeah, I think maybe going across the map looking for one of those low towers that were there on that top side, maybe that mid lane tower, just trying to find something here. You're grasping at straws, you're grasping at whatever the mercy of Spark Unknown is going to give you, and maybe a little bit of a force. I think playing for Elder might have been a better play, using, with how good Jay is, maybe he's able to flip that dragon, that echo, the playmaking tools that he has, relying on that. But now that Cloud Soul going to go over along with basically what is a team ace for the side of Spark Unknown.
They'll be able to pick up a couple of towers on their own terms, free of any kind of risk. The the uninhibited minions are going to be able to march up this mid lane, which is going to force responses out of Fett, which gives SPK plenty of opportunities to take over the map, claim vision control, and then initiate one last team fight to close this out.
Yeah, I
Now,
think that opportunity for the side effect to really cross map, make these trades kind of diminish, like Mango pointed out in chat, with that rotational power from the Cloud Soul. That out of combat move speed can allow them to respond to a lot of these attempts if they were to go for that at this point in the game. It's just a little bit too late now. Your best bet, just hold on, play for that Elder, try and see if you can work any sort of magic here. But it's going to be hard. That Ezreal, that Fizz, just the ability to pop somebody, absolutely one-shot them, take them out. Or maybe you don't even get the kill, but if you chunk someone, 20, 30% HP, it's so impactful here in these fights.
Mm-hmm. And to add insult to injury, Fett does not have a traditional control mage in order to stall this game out and give them an opportunity to wait for an Elder Dragon
Kled is my favorite
to maybe
control mage.
swing it back. Based opinion, you're totally right. But you oh my god, you just really threw me off with that one. I'm like, wait, what? Kled's wave clear leaves a lot to be desired, even though he is such an incredible control mage. Obviously, you max out his grab claw, his bear, was it a bear trap on a rope? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and if you're looking at the champions here on the side of Fett, you have the Nautilus, you have the Kled, you have the Set, you have these massive catalysts for the rest of the team, these champions that can really accelerate the game. But when they fall behind, they don't have those tools. Kled wants to be this massive stat stick, the stat checker for your team. Gonna be caught here. Speaking of checking, is gonna check that bush and find himself on the other side of Kiko as he falls. Smokestack's gonna follow as well. Jay trying to get away. The Hextech Rocket Belt gonna buy him some time. Gonna be able to get out the Flay. Rings true. Sup, bro. Mystic Shot rings true. Is gonna fall. Anna as well. It's just Zexus left, and Kishibek is gonna take care of that one for his team. Spark Unknown with the cleanup with the ace coming out. 30-second death timers. Do they have enough time to be able to end this game?
I think this game is over here, Meepo. SPK putting on a clinic, showing off some premier team play in the bot lane, amazing rotational mechanics off of Wukong, rock solid objective control and vision control over this game. This was a lights out performance from SPK. Now Fett has plenty in this game to be proud of. I think a lot of their decision making choices were impeccable because they did fall behind, but they still tried to make aggressive plays to pull the game back from the jaws of defeat. I have a lot of respect for teams who do that, who don't just slowly bleed out and never take any opportunities and never take their shot.
Yep,
so GG to both these teams. Yeah.
And Fett, going to 1-1 here in the standings, were able to pick up the win last week. Spark Unknown also, because of that loss from the previous week, going 1-1. So both teams still very evenly matched here in the standings. Just going to even each other out, looking very strong in different regards, but it was Spark Unknown's game to lose, and they did not give Fiddle HDMO an inch here. Stay tuned for the next games here. I believe it is still going to be me and Solar, but going to a small break, so don't go anywhere unless you're clashing. If you are clashing, then let it crash and then just come back whenever the game shuts down.
Exactly. Throw your Clash games, come back to us. We'll see you soon.
You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep.
Welcome back to Odyssey Esports, Season 1 2023 triple header for our Week 2. Game number 2, we have a very special matchup. One between none other than Boomers versus In the Trees.
Yep.
Very excited about these teams.
Yeah, In
They
the
have some
Trees.
extremely strong. Oh yeah, go for it.
In the Trees making their debut here. Last week had the bye, so we'll be displaying what they have against one of what looked like one of the top teams last week, with Mango in the jungle, being that rock for the team on the Sejuani, even two exceptional solo laners in the side of D and Pika. So Industries really had their work cut out for them here in their debut. But there is no better time to show that you're a team that can punch. At the top here, show that you are a team in contention for the championship here against one of what looked like the strongest team right out of the opener.
Yeah, and while Jimbo Slice is a terrifying AD carry in that bot lane, Drubert's the God Hand.
That's true.
And that always gives you an extra axis of attack in order to break into the armor of Boomers and maybe get an advantage for In the Trees. Very curious to see how some of these newer players. We have Mort Dog and Small PP as two players that I'm not super familiar with. I'm really interested to see how they're going to do on their first game. I know that my first game at Odyssey Esports didn't go very well for me, and the pressure definitely got to my head pretty quickly. So, I'm looking out for you guys. If things don't go as you planned, it's totally okay, and good players and good teams bounce back. But not putting any bad vibes out there or anything. I just know how hard that could be. This should be a very interesting matchup. I am so excited to see what looks like EY into Ajuka in the top lane. These are some of the strongest top laners that we could ask for. Um, and it's pretty interesting how essentially power vacuums can form. One of the admins at Odyssey is traditionally one of the highest regarded top laners, and he's not currently in this tournament series, and so that's opened up opportunities for other players to come in and show their hand at top lane matchups. So I'm super excited to see that and see how Eli continues to transition over into a sort of a different style than what we've seen from him in the past.
Yep, and same as last time, draft could just appear, and there it is. One major thing that stands out: the God Hand has Seraphine.
I told you. I called it. I didn't get any spoilers for this game, and I just want to point that out. And so, hey, Drupert is as close to a Seraphine one trick as there could possibly be, because if all you did is play Seraphine, you wouldn't be with us anymore. So, Drupert's definitely, pushing mental health concerns with how much he plays Seraphine.
That's a little
But
mean.
it's a little mean. But come on, I mean, Seraphine is a genociding monster, right? Like how low do you have to see yourself if you're willing to
Seraphine
play
is the
Seraphine that
embodiment
much,
of
right?
Satan herself. Himself? Herself. Satan
Exactly.
doesn't have a gender.
I right. Well, Satan, Seraphine, they sound similar enough
Exactly,
to me.
exactly.
Who
Satan
cares?
Fiend.
Um, Satan
New
Fiend. There
skin
we
line
go.
coming in, Riot. Hit me up.
Wait, Infernal Seraphine. Wait, fuck. Um, but looking at the rest of this team, and not to get too fixated on me making jokes at Drubert's expense. Love you, Drubert. It looks like both these teams have incredibly powerful comps that are trying to do systematically different things, but I think they're going to end up playing
I
out pretty
think this is a
similarly in the
Kiana
mid game.
top lane here on the side of Eli. Something that he is
Interesting.
way, way too familiar with in the mid lane. Lots and lots of proficiency on that champion has struck fear into the hearts of many other mid laners on that champion. Gonna be taking his talents over, to the island. Hopped on a boat, got on the island, and we'll be playing versus Achuka on that champion. So not something that we traditionally see, but has been played on the top lane even at the highest level. So it looks like it's gonna be Kiana versus Camille.
I will say this is looking like it's going to be Swain into Victor, and that's a matchup that Victor loves. You're able to just outspeed and outrange the Swain. You never have to fight into him. If Swain walks forward, you just E, Q, sidestep, and then just continue on your way. And Gravity Well can shut down massive corridors for Swain and the rest of his team for engaging fights. If I'm Victor here, I'm really happy.
Yeah, one thing.
That being said, though, yeah,
Yeah,
go
one
for it.
thing that I find a little bit concerning there is if you look at just the overall champions there on the side of in the trees, right? You have the Seraphine, the Ezreal, the Swain, and then there's this Camille Vi coming in. Two champions that really want to be able to go in, something that the Ezreal and Swain don't really excel at. I'm worried that if if the engage comes out that super far dive from the Camille Vi, that the damage won't be there to follow up, at least not immediately. It's gonna take some time for that Ezreal, that Swain to kind of lurch forward. So making sure that they're all on the same page is going to be super paramount here if you're the Vi, because you are a little bit off theme, but you obviously give Seraphine a really good bounce target should she be able to hit it.
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing about it too. Seraphine can support over the top with her R, so can Ezreal. And Swain has his W, which has close to
I
infinite
just
range as
noticed
well.
Ajuka's logo has an Aatrox in the back.
Wait, does it? That's so subtle. I love it. And how did I not see that? That's so obvious.
He's in the trees.
He's in the trees, blind solar bear. All right, this is confirmed.
But
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of interesting potential there. On the side of Boomers, they have the opportunity to just kind of say, no, you're not going to go in, because Sejuani can just essentially face tank this engage from in the trees and protect her squishier DPS characters.
exactly.
And without a consistent way to shut down the MF doesn't have to poke forward and look for auto attacks. You just sit tight, wait for a good ult flank, and just make sure that she keeps herself safe in these team
Yeah,
fights.
I think
So,
this game is really, really dependent on Ajuka being able to get ahead on this Camille, be a massive side lane threat, because theoretically Kiana will never be able to win against Camille on the side lane. Should Camille
yeah.
be able to get stronger enough, this Victor should never be able to win versus the Camille in the side lane. So being that massive side lane threat for the side of in the trees on this Camille is going to be one of the major win cons that should come out of this game. And Achuka, one of the best players to be able to do it here. Really, really strong laner, really, really strong fundamentals. We've seen him take over games before, so he's gonna have to do that for the side of in the trees on this one as we transition over to the Rift.
I'm pretty interested by this bot lane matchup too, because I would love to be MF here, in a lot of circumstances, because you're just able to play into your minion wave so effectively as Misfortune, and that shuts down Ezreal's damage over the top, as well as allows you to bounce. Even non-last hit double ups off of your minions can poke an Ezreal down
Right.
after a couple of iterations of it.
Yeah, that being said, the Nautilus one of the things that he really, really hates is number one, playing into 80 carries with mobility. Number two, playing into poke. Right now, the bot lane for In the Tree is checking all the boxes there versus this Nautilus gonna take a little bit of damage, just a little bit, you know, from that Seraphine, from that Ezreal. Gonna make his life a little bit hard here, but Cop, you know, all too familiar with the Nautilus, played it last week, had a superb showing, able to, you know, throw some alley-oops over to Jimbo, and Jimbo able to close that one out there. I believe he played Kaisa as well, so really, really on Cop here to show his proficiency here on the Nautilus, because we all know what Jibber's proficiency is like here on the Seraphine. He's played every matchup into every champion. It is, if it's up, he's picking it first. No questions asked. So,
Man, that
interesting
just
to
makes
see how
me
that
so
pans out.
concerned for Drubert. Just snap picking Seraphine in any opportunity. It couldn't be me.
Drubert Seraphine, there's a reason he's called the God Hand. You got to respect the God Hand.
Gotta respect the God
If you
hand
don't
indeed.
respect the God Hand, he'll pick it on you and he'll show you why he has that title. If anyone wants to confirm, you go to the Discord. Jupiter is the only one with this title. It's a title that says God Hand. It's there for a reason.
It looks like a pretty standard play at this point. We have our two mid laners vying for a little bit of positive pressure. Halo's got a marginal push here in the mid lane. Nothing to write home about. And we didn't catch on to that that there would be a fill in for Halo. That Halo will be in this game.
Yep.
So welcome Halo.
Weeb
Sorry
is
to miss
not
that one.
here. It will be Halo
Yeah.
here in the mid lane on that Swain.
Welcome in Halo. And otherwise, I mean, both these teams are kind of trying to do the same thing in these lanes. You either want to get a pretty strong push with the MF lane and start splashing waves, which plays into Ezreal's hands. Forwick is a very scary Ezreal player. He is well known for his ability to pilot the character.
And we just saw last game what a fat Ezreal can do, right?
Yeah.
On the side of Supro, able to just decimate from long range with the damage, with the poke, and Forwick looking to his best Supro impression here. Never Move going to connect here onto Pikachu Tiger, chunking him out with that Electrocute as well.
Yeah, Pikachu Tiger taking a huge chunk of damage from this Swain. I mean, this is one of the opportunities that, oh my god, that hand almost pulled him right to the jaws of death. Swains are rewarded for going for their grabs, because it not only gives you a stack of your passive when you pull someone into you, but it also gives you an opportunity to maybe get a kill.
Yeah, Mortdog going to be here in the bot lane. Going to poke his head around, see if he can find anything that's slow from the Cannon Barrage. Going to be there onto Jimbo. Going to force the flash. Early MF with no flash in this lane is really, really scary, because if anything connects from the Seraphine, that root coming out could just spell death. Ajuka going to go in, try and get that stun. D with the sidestep. Low display of mechanics there from D. These early levels, Kiana is so vulnerable. Doesn't have that damage, doesn't have that Dirk, that power spike that really allows her to be able to trade aggressively in this matchup yet.
And Ajuka, picture perfect play here in the top lane. Look what this minion wave is. Eli is so overextended. Oh my god, we have a huge trade down there.
Dredgeline gonna connect.
Ignited.
Yeah, Dredgeline gonna connect onto Forwick. He is there. But the Flash Vault Breaker going to hit Cop. Not really the target that you wanted there, but good job by Cop there to tank that one up. Able to step in front just at the last second to make sure that it clips him instead of Jimbo. Jimbo having no flash. That could have most certainly been death. However, it is just going to be a heal instead.
Honestly, that was intentional from Cop. Cop was making sure to
100%.
space that out and ensure that he was between Jimbo and Vi. That is picture perfect support play there. And even turning around and getting a little bit of a trade at the end of it, just to even out the health bars. Perfect Nautilus play.
What joke did I make? I'm confused. I don't know what joke I made.
Beepa, you're always joking.
True.
Oh,
Halo gonna connect with a Never Move on the Pikachu Tiger.
Drops
The Ignite as well. The Flash going to get him away from the Vault Breaker. Just by a hair, Mortdog. Really putting on the pressure. He's got 2 flashes here in the early game before 5 minutes.
Well played, Mortdog. Well played. Looking good on this Vi, helping his mid laner push in onto the tower. Let Swain get a juicy teleport, or a juicy recall back here. And this is another game where we see Ignite into teleport and seeing opportunity for a little bit of a lane advantage there, but also the kind of ticking time bomb of how much pressure you can get out of having to teleport in the mid and late game. Being able to teleport into fights, or being able to jump back into lane and get yourself a little bit of extra gold.
Yep,
As
Mango
we
here.
have a spicy invade from Mango, gets clipped by Mortog over the wall. Force the flash. That is ×3 flashes from this Vi. And Hope, the
Warwick
Warwick
is
jumping over
there
the wall.
directly on top of his head.
Sejuani is just able to cue her way
Israel usually
to
wants
safety.
to try and keep his space, poke from range, not forward. Warwick's in there.
Warwick is tired of being known as a power farmer. He's like, no, I am in now. I play Draven now. But Warwick, you're playing Ezreal. I play all like Draven.
Yeah, one of the players I want to highlight here is Halo. As Halo has been, a power 80 carry in some of the previous seasons here. Ajuka is going to connect with the stun. The X ultimate coming out, trapping Ajuka Tiger. He is going to be stuck. The gravity well going to buy just a little bit of time, but delay the inevitable. Halo,
First
the
blood
sub
goes
coming
down for
in
Halo.
huge with the first blood for his team here. Gerbert.
That was a massive play, and great job calming the top laner down there, getting Camille into the midst of the action, because it has so many opportunities and so many different characters that can essentially in for them and start these fights and ensure that a member of the boomers can't really get away from it. And this is just showing it's like, hey, you might know where Vi is on the map, but do you know where Camille is too? Really well played there. Really good sync up between the sub and the top laner.
One thing to look out for, though, is that Hextech ultimate being used. No way to buffer that ultimate here from the Kiana. Ajuka is hovering close to that wall. D could look for it. Elects not to, though. Is going to combo onto him, but that passive shield going to protect the precious HP of this Camille here. As the wave going to be pushed in from D. Small CS advantage as well in this top lane, which is pretty surprising considering, like I said, how weak Kiana is in those early levels. But obviously, Ajuka able to impact the map a little bit more. So it's only right that he misses a little bit of CS for that. You can't...
Right.
You can't have everything, right? Dredgeline going to connect here on to Druber. That Seraphine going to get caught up, tagged by the double up as well from MF. The stun coming out from Ajuka, fighting happening across the entire map. Druber is so low as the wave pushes in. Jimbo could walk up and look here. However, looks like Druber's just going to be forced to back. Warwick alone. Collecting the minions underneath this tower. Ezreal, so much mobility, so safe. Isn't going to be really much that they can look for, but...
I think that's a mild misplay. I'd be calming Sedge down here right now. This is a missed opportunity to get a free kill on the tower.
The charge line.
Cop says we don't even need you down here, jungler. Huge play there.
The
Heal
range
off of
dread line from Goth. Just barely tagging Ezreal. Didn't even have enough time to be able to arcane shift away. If you're quick enough, you can actually buffer the dredge line. Of obviously, every Ezreal player is looking at me like, duh. But like a lot of people don't know that. But
it's one of the reasons why Ezreal is so forgiving in these engage support matchups, because even if you're you have really bad reflexes, like I don't know, maybe like me for example,
except
like
Leona, you can't
myself,
buffer that
Solar
shit.
Bear. Except for Leona. Well, if she gets on top of you, I think you actually pull her to the end of your arcane shift, and so it's in some ways better than buffering. As Pikachu takes a massive trade there from Halo. Wait, Mango, go in.
No.
Mango was thinking twice.
With
about
how
that.
low his mid laner is, I don't think that'll be the best decision. The Ignite still up on Halo. That Flash still up as well. Just can flash on top of that Victor with the ultimate. Gonna be a little scary if he does engage there. So I think the right call by Mango to back off.
I don't know. I think you hit a knock up. You hit Sejuani R point blank. Stack up your E. Victor just drops an R and walks away. But anyway, electing to not go aggressive on the play, that's certainly a decision maker or decision point there.
Yeah, and I think for this team, right, one of the things that Mango really has to be is he has to be that kind of voice of reason on a team. He's that player that is a lot less volatile when you consider the side of D, Pika. These are really volatile, high aggro mechanical players, just like we saw there. The ultimate showstopper coming out. Stuns up 3 for this guy out of the flash away. However, the CC is going to kick the never move. Going to pull him in Halo with the demonic ascension. Gonna find 2. Gonna trade back. Gonna find 1, actually. Traded back. Pikachu Tiger falling for Wick. Also paying the price as the double kill. Gonna come over for the side of... I have to sneeze.
On the side of boomers.
On the side of boomers.
Mipa, I think there's been a coronation today. I think we're crowning a king of this bot lane. This is bot lane kingdom. Instead of roaming up and attempting to help the team in that massive skirmish in the mid lane around Herald. Cop elects to stay in the bot lane to get his AD carry even further ahead, and netting plates and netting a kill out of that validates that decision. So I think that tips the hat of what the win con here is for Boomers. I think they're
Yeah,
looking
I
to get
mean,
MF ridiculously far
when
ahead.
you look at Boomers, right? Jimbo created this team, and Jimbo, for the most part, like, is the major not playmaker, but damage source on this team. A lot of Jimbo's teams in the past have just played around him, and to right avail, right? Like, Jimbo is probably one of the craziest AD carries in this whole tournament. Actually, recently hit Diamond as well. So, really showing that if you give me a little bit of gold, I will take over a game. So, the last thing everybody memes about, the last thing you want to see is a kill on Jimbo when you pull up the scoreboard.
Not just a kill, but also tower plays and a mild CS advantage. It's looking really good for the bot lane. That being said, though, that is a 2-in-1 Swain, and Swain with some gold levels out his mediocre early game and allows him to scale into the late game powerhouse.
Cop is going to walk up. All the spells going to miss from Drew, but the dredge line gonna force the arcane shift away. Mortdog trying to counter jungle whatever he can, but he's gonna be pushed off by the two-man squad here. The Vaultbreaker gonna come on into Pikachu Tiger. The cease and desist as well. Demonic Ascension gonna do so much damage, so much tankiness here. But is Halo gonna be able to fight it? Yes, he is with the never move. Gonna connect. Mango being forced to flash away right in the face of his jungler. The bot lane is gonna rotate, but it's just gonna be a little bit late here as it looks like Halo is gonna be able to get away. Arcane Barrage is going to do a little bit of damage.
Cop's not done, though.
The
massive knockup over
and
the top.
The ultimate coming out from Cop, the MVP so far. Cop is doing so much with these dredge lines. It seems like no matter what happens, Int is just on the other side of them.
What an impressive rotation there. When MF was running up in front of to kind of face tank in front of the rest of the team, I was like, I don't know about this one, Jimbo. But clearly there's a little bit of comms magic going on there. Well played on the side of Boomers, and they are sliding into a comfortable lead in this game. 5,000 gold up. They just secured
Ocean
they just
Dragon.
secured themselves their first dragon. Yeah. This is looking like a very strong early game performance from this team. And I'm on the side of Int, I'm starting to sweat here because MF and Victor both scale really hard. Sejuani's an excellent character in the late game in terms of a tank. And Kiana, okay, sure, Kiana maybe in the side lane is going to lose a little bit of efficacy as we see a quick trait there and to kind of demonstrate Camille's prowess in this kind of a matchup. But I think the rest of the team can 4v4 it out and look to secure this game.
Yeah, that grapple shot gonna go wide. D, however, is still gonna get chunked from that tactical sweep in the auto coming out. Camille, like you said, just so much stronger in this 1v1. But that's not really why Eli picks the Kiana here. He's there for the playmaking. He's there for that massive grand display of talent.
And Eli's got all kinds of talent.
True. Now he's just gonna display it by pressing a button on a wall with someone on it, preferably.
Preferably, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you could just show off the talent and then stun no one.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool too.
Mm-hmm. It is actually. It's pretty Chad.
Yep, Cop gonna be taking a little bit of poke damage here. However, Jimbo so confident with that Kraken Slayer completed in his inventory. So strong here on the AD carry. 400 go shutdown. Got to be careful to try and not get tagged by the CC from that Swain, that Seraphine here in the mid lane, but Jimbo not one to shy down from a little bit of an ego battle. Dredge line going to be sidestepped from Halo. Sejuani ulti going to cut him off from his Seraphine. Just push straight into the waiting arms of Jimbo with the ultimate, able to do so much damage. Swain gonna fall. That's a strong member there for the side of In the Trees. Not having up right now is going to be crucial with the Rift Herald spawning so soon.
I'm starting to get nervous here. Jimbo is able to happy feet in the front of his team and get massive value from this Kraken Slayer, just auto attacking.
I mean, let's be honest. If Jimbo was 0-3 or 3-0, he'll play the exact same.
Oh, sure. But the major difference here is, when an AD carry is playing up like that, if there isn't an attempt to shut them down or to demonstrate why many AD carry players don't play aggressively, then they're just going to run away with this game.
Well,
This is a role that's balanced around the fact that any mistake
exactly, but
costs
one of the
team the
major
next team
things
fight.
though, one of the major things that I feel like Boomers does so well is you saw Swain try and walk up, try and punish, but Jimbo the whole time he's just baiting. Sejuani wrapped around the side, able to use the ultimate cut off the retreat from Swain. So it's that game of, is this AD carry just mispositioning or are they baiting? That time, you know, Halo flipped the coin and he got the wrong side of it.
Yeah, this whole barely dashes out of the hook shot from Ajuka. That might have been a dead top laner there. But Eli's able to show off a little bit of proficiency in this matchup as it looks like Mango is going to lead the charge and secure himself a Rift Herald for his team. Secure himself a Rift Herald for his team. As Halo's getting pushed out here by Pikachu Tiger. Not sure that anything's going to end up happening there. And immediately popping the Rift Herald in the mid lane. They don't even need it for this first tower, but I think that they're hoping to break open, you know, perhaps the inner tower here, maybe even an inhibitor tower.
Ideally, you would
Rift
prefer
Herald.
that Rift Herald doesn't charge there, keep the HPI.
Yeah.
But, you know, just trying to play the tempo, trying to play as fast as possibly can here. Really, really something that you want to do when you have that Kiana, when you have that Nautilus, the playmaking potential. The stun coming out, the God Hand finds 2 with the charm. However, the damage coming out, Halo being chunked, Mortdog being chunked, the range on the side of this Victor, this MF doing so much work. This tower surely going to follow the treasure line. It's going to be buffered by Wick. That's what we were talking about earlier. Able to get his way out of that one. But
that was a very, very strong defense by Int. That could have gone so much worse than it did.
But with all that
really good
prio,
job holding it together.
all that prio generated there in the mid lane, Dragon now spawning. Seems like it's surely going to go over here to the side of Boomers, as just doesn't feel like a response is really going to be mounted by in the trees.
Dragon spawning here. They have no vision control in the back.
I mean, to be fair, neither does Boomers. So
that's fair. That's true.
So the pings
I guess,
are coming down.
you know, the pings are coming down, and you know, if you're killing the enemy team, you don't need wards. You know where they are. They're dead.
Jimbo's like,
So-
"Where's my wards?" I don't need a ward. He's just gonna walk in and face check anyway.
I mean, he's got the scrying bloom, right? Like,
It's the
what does he need
Scrying
wards
bloom,
for?
yeah, the Squire's bloom coming out. It's the evolved one as well. No, yeah, it is. So, you know, basically lights up like the entire map. So wards are irrelevant at this point. Support your job doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, literally doesn't matter. I mean, if I had to choose between a support that wards or a support that hits every Nautilus Q and just bamboozles the enemy team, like Cop's been doing this game, I would take Cop.
I have to kind of,
Vision is
you know,
really
there's
weird.
nothing to ward if the whole enemy team is dead.
Exactly. You know where they are. They're dead.
You know
They're in Fountain.
exactly where they are. They're in the fountain.
Remember, back in the old days, you had to buy your wards too. So not only did you have to go and waste time placing them, but you had to spend 75 gold on them.
Yeah, now you get wards like government handouts for real.
Exactly.
Schubert trying to do what he can, wrestle back control of this top side jungle, clear some of those wards that we were talking about earlier. As it's really, really difficult to play this game as Vi if you're just constantly on vision. Vi is one of those champions that really wants to play around the element of surprise, really catch someone off guard with how quick, how lightning fast your engage is. So making sure that you have control over at least your side of the jungle is super, super important to try and catch anyone if they overextend. Vi,
What's
on
hilarious
vision
about
here.
this is Camille is the same way as Vi getting instantly collapsed on. Look how the tables have turned.
Yeah, but guess what? She was on a ward. He was on a ward, so the whole team able to collapse, able to rotate. Eli gonna be able to pick up that one, his first kill of the game. But this Kiana has been strong for some time now. Has 150 gold shut down
And
here.
Even more critically, if the Vi is in Fountain, you don't have to ward for her. You know where she is.
Yep.
Automatically frees up Cop to fish for dredge lines as opposed to warding the map.
Yeah, Deathless across the
It's a
board for the
masterclass.
side. I'm gonna cast your curse from here. Deathless across the board here for the side of Boomers, with the exception of Pika. He's been the punching bag of the team, but you know he's been taking the brunt of the plays, the brunt of the Vi engages here for his team. And Jimbo, Mango, Eli all stepping up, making sure that his deaths are not in vain. His deaths all amount to something. Ajuka trying to engage here, gonna be slowed up, stunned up. Not going to be able to find much. However, the ultimate, the dredge line as well. Going to stun him up. The flash being forced by there with the cease and desist, but is going to... the Vi is going to have to cease. And she's been sent back to the fountain almost immediately, ulting right into her demise.
And that looks like a pretty quick and easy Baron here for Boomers. They have an 80 carry on 2 items. They should be able to burn this arm really quickly, especially with Victor damage over the top. I'm hoping that they all mass recall as soon as they knock this down, and then look forward to breaking open in the trees' base. They're going to be playing in the base, not in the trees.
Yep.
Yeah, nice
Ultimate
there
coming
as,
out there from
Eli goes up
Goth.
the wall and look.
Eli is there. The damage, however, is not Gerbert going to be able to walk away for that one. Aki Mirage attempted to steal, but...
Yeah.
You know,
100 times. You get lucky, you snack that Baron, you turn things for your team. So it's definitely worth the opportunity, or it's definitely worth the chance.
Yeah, with how low that cooldown is, you
See if
look
you
at
can
it,
maybe
it's
pull this game back.
almost up already. So,
Yeah.
One of the things I do want to see Forwick use is that ultimate just for poke. Try and see if you can, chunk the MF, chunk anyone here, just to where even if your Vi goes in and she's able to, and she dies immediately like she did in that previous fight, if you have a little bit of damage on that MF already, it just makes it easier to kind of kill her. Get that shutdown, get that massive damage carry out of the fight, as IE rolling around for this MF as well. Vamp Scepter in the inventory as well, so that MF is going to be so hard to kill.
Yep. It's even more important because Jimbo actually went for Overheal here, which is extremely powerful on MF. It synergizes quite well with BT. And if you have a Bloodthirster shield on MF, if you get hit by damage, it doesn't cancel your passive. So it's one of the strongest items for her in the game. Obviously not better than an Infinity Edge or something. But a lot of pro MF players, like they'll rush it out even ahead of Infinity Edge.
Directed Cam having a little bit of a seizure here. Fighting happening across the board. Bot tower gonna fall for the side of Boomers. Gonna be able to claim up that one.
As Juka is deciding not to.
Yeah, I think that's... So one of the things now that Kiana can do with how strong she is, and she can actually just if she times it right, she can completely cancel that grapple for the side of that Camille. If she's coming at her in a straight line, just toss her back into a wall, stun her up. Makes it really easy on that Kiana. I think Ajuka knows that at this point, so playing really cautiously, making sure that he doesn't really go in without the assistance of his team here.
And meanwhile, all this pressure being pulled top lane from Eli, just juking and jiving in that top lane tower, secures a free dragon for his team. So it looks like Boomer is more than comfortable with playing this game a little bit slower. Just eat up whatever the other team doesn't give you. Easy smite secure there for Mango, who's on 3-0 in the Sejuani, has looked menacing, has been there for his team every step of the way. Radiant Sejuani just empowers your entire roster and make sure that everyone's staying nice and healthy on those big engages. This is formidable. We even have a walk it out of the Nautilus, just making sure that, like, hey, Jimbo, if you are continuing to play aggressive and the other team gets on top of you, like right here potentially, but
wide dredge line onto Ajuka, just popped instantly. That Glacier Prism going to connect as well onto Mortdog. That Vi getting chunked all the way down to 20% HP. Not much of a dive threat when you just don't have any health left here.
Not much of a dive threat at all.
Cop has been such a massive factor in these skirmishes, these hooks. Just seems like every single one. He's got a little magnet at the end. He's got a little magnet that's only attracted to into members.
That's right. Cop is like, wait, in. I love in. I'm going to make sure to hit in with my Q at every opportunity. That's the thing about Nautilus players. Every Nautilus player is secretly an enter.
I swear, like, Cop's hook goes like 20% further than anyone else's.
Yeah, probably. Are we seeing the world's first Odyssey Esports hacker?
He's scripting? Yeah, exactly.
Is he scripting?
It's just the second anyone's in range of his hook, just he tosses it out. Bang.
I bet you he doesn't play with range indicators either. I bet you he just knows. Cop is like, yeah, they'll hit.
He can smell it.
Now I'm imagining like a harmonica kind of setup where it like feeds like olfactory sensations from the game. You're like in river and it just starts like spraying you with water, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm in river. That's cool. And like it just like you know how pet stores like the wizard section smells kind of like sand and like I don't know, just it smells like wizard. Like if you ever buy a dragon, then like the olfactory little like harmonica thing just starts pumping out like wizard smell.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of river here, river control on the side of Boomers, trying to set up a trap here for that Vi, for that Seraphine. Looks like Jimbo and Cobb
It looks like
fearlessly walking up into this mid lane. Nautilus has struck fear into the eyes and the hearts of Int.
That's right. And I swear to God that was gonna hit, but it did not. So I guess Cop confirmed not hacking. Is that even more impressive?
No, he heard us. He heard us, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta shake the diamonds real quick."
Heard, yeah.
Not convinced
There
yet,
you
not
go.
convinced.
You have to shake the trail.
Exactly.
That's right, Cop from yesterday.
Yeah. No. What do you
Heard
mean?
us
This
today.
game is live. What do you mean?
Oh, you're right. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
This is not being played by Echo clones. No.
Exactly.
Man, I mean, Boomers have such a lead in this game. It's pretty much their game to lose at this point. They could play this out slow and steady, get the next dragon,
Yep. 2 items
march right at the gut.
for that Ezreal Cop. Gonna be caught up. The ultimate gonna come out as well. Drubert gonna flash away from that one. Make sure that he's not in range for any follow-up. One of the advantages that you do have is the range here on the side of Int, using that full display there. Baron gonna be started up here. The jungler is alive for the side of Int, as is here. Possible steal can come through, a little bit risky.
This is hugely risky. It's an alright play if they actually go
This
for
is a
just
1%
turn.
loss if you can get it. The objective bounty! Mortdog able to steal that one away, but the team is going to get wiped, though. 2 people falling for the side of Int. Mortdog doing what he can to get his team back into this game. Gonna claim away that Baron. Like we said, it's just a 1% play that you really don't have to do if you're the side of Boomers. You said it perfectly. It's your game to lose. But
it's not a 1% play, Mipa. The jungler is alive. It's a 50-50.
True. But
why even leave the door open for that? A little bit aggressive.
Flash
but
Dragon gonna come
Cop
out
is
onto
showing,
Drubert.
hey,
The massive charm coming out as well forward. Gonna have to arcane shift away. Even though the Baron is on the side of Int, it seems like Boomers, maybe they didn't get the memo that they don't have Baron, but they're pushing as if they do, straight down the barrel of in the trees. No, in the base, if you're Boomers right now.
Boomers make towers go boom. As the Juka is not done.
Oh, Juka tries to get
Immediately
that
going and
flash
trying to get
stun.
on top of that Victor.
Mango is there. You talked about it in champions like that cancel on the grapple. The Sejuani doing so much. Mango being this absolute massive wall of beef for his team. This is not where you want to be, though, if you're fighting against the Swain. Tight corridor.
Oh.
The demonic extension coming out. Arcane Barrage gonna find 2. Grand display of talent gonna pick up the Vi. Eli is gonna fall for that one. The Swain as well. Ajuka going in onto the backline, does the damage. The Q2 is gonna pop him. Hextech gonna make him onto Jimbo the carry. The Nautilus gonna fall. Jimbo still lives. Jimbo free hitting. Forwick though is the hero, the last man standing, able to ace.
What a fight.
That was
Wow.
as close as it could possibly be. Literally one more auto for Jimbo, one more double up would have killed Forwick, and then the double kill doesn't come through.
One fewer item on Forwick, and that's a one team fight for
Items
Boomers,
are a
and they're
mindset.
gonna. Items are a mindset. That's true. So is hit points, or so are hit points actually.
Yeah,
They're
for
also
sure.
a mindset. Yeah. All that matters is, do you have 0? If not, then you're fine. As Forwick demonstrated there, right? He didn't have 0 hit points. Able to win that team fight easy.
Yeah, TP coming out from
Really-
Victor here. They want to contest this dragon. Double TP as well, actually. Eli gonna TP that same tower. Gonna walk in through the bot lane here forward. Gonna be able to claim that one. The objective bounty as well going over. These are massive victories. They may seem like a coin toss into the well, but that wishing well, you gotta cast a wish here. Anything matters at this point.
Int snapped 5,000 gold back from this deficit in one team fight. well, I guess in a smite steal and then one team fight. Anyone can win this game. This is not over yet, folks.
Yep.
And this is Boomer's game to lose. They just had to slow it down, play the
Cop on the
map,
flank though.
play for the win cons.
Look at how aggressively Cop is playing. On to Morkdog.
That's right.
Get a Vault Breaker away
Cop-
from that one. Jimbo closing in.
Cop is role playing as a member of Into the Trees. He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay in your jungle. I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
I'm here for
look
these
at what that means though.
support flanks.
It means that he was able to get control here. They're able to push in this top lane just basically free. They're not like Int is not able to rotate through their jungle at all. This top lane gonna be under siege. Root connecting here onto Cop, stun, chained into by Ajuka. Dredge line charm is there. The knock up though is massive into the bullet time from MF. So much damage. The double kill gotta come out. 3v5 here. 3v4. Eli's been pushing on the bot lane this whole time. Arcane Barrage gonna do some damage. Dredge line again. He connects every single one. Swain gonna be pulled in to his death. It's just Forwick here. 1v4 in the base. Able to pick off the victor though. Gets a little bit too greedy with that laser trying to graze Forwick.
Yeah, this is not the target you want to hit with a Vi ult. You do not want to knock up the support who already dropped his cooldowns. So what if you clean up the Nautilus? He's got an entire team behind him. He's got a fed MF.
It's the last
layer
stand. The Arcane shift away. Gonna try and do what he can. Drubert is up. The bot lane duo trying to save this game, but it's all just not gonna matter. Boomers take the convincing victory along against Int in this game too.
With a little bit of a slip up there, the Baron play was questionable, but hey, they recovered. They did. They made sure that they got their team back together. They gave up a little bit on the map and didn't overplay their hand. Waited for a critical error in that botch team fight engage, and were able to turn around and wipe this game out. They didn't lose a single tower. All 3 inhibitors down. I think Boomers came out. They wanted to put on a show. They wanted to say, no, we're number 1. We deserve to be.
Yeah, a little mishap, like you said, but Boomers showing why they are considered one of the best teams in this tournament so far. Across the board, just so much aggression coming out from Cop, from Jimbo, really setting the tempo across this map. Just so much pressure put up by this Nautilus. Seemed like every hook was connecting. Every hook, there's an Int member at the end of it, pulling him into the team. The follow-up, the Sejuani, the Kiana, all there. No questions asked every single time. Looks like Boomers are looking super scary coming into the next couple weeks.
Boomers are looking like the team to beat. I'm terrified.
Yep. Game 3, our final game coming up right after another small break. Hopefully a much smaller break than last time, but we will see.
We'll see. See you around, folks.
You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. You've gone too deep. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea.
Welcome back, folks. This is the voice of Lord Solar Bear. Joining me in the casting booth is Mipa. We're on to game 3 of this week 2 triple header. We have the Legion of the Watchers. We have Leg against the Bushy Boys, BBS. This should be a pretty interesting matchup here. I'm pretty excited to see some players who, as we mentioned earlier in the cast, there's a little bit of a power vacuum at Odyssey. A couple of the workhorse players aren't in the current season. That gives an opportunity for players who maybe normally wouldn't have a spotlight showing here, to be able to get onto the starting roster of a team and make some noise. I'm pretty excited to see Andersign as well as TKD Ninja and see what they're able to do on this Legion of the Watchers roster.
Yeah, and you talk about a power vacuum happening and some power players not playing in this tournament, but I don't know. I'm looking at Legion of Watchers. There's 3 people from the previous championship team there. That bot lane staying true with Ace and Sadat, and then Troll heading it up in the jungle is such a major factor for their wins last season. So I'm just saying that they're really, really looking. I know Troll in the draft was looking to repeat some of the success that he had in previous years. I'm pretty sure he told Ace, he told everyone, "Hey, listen, I'm going after Ace. I'm going after that, and I'm going to have a repeat of what happened last year." And it's really on them to see if they can make that comeback alive.
Yes, indeed. Let's see if we can make that comeback alive. Is it even a comeback if you are the reigning champions? Aren't you just kind of like the overdog at that point?
Maybe. I don't
It's
know.
hardly a comeback story at that point, especially when you have a bot lane like Ace in the Hole and Sedatin. It's hard to see a lot of situations where they're the underdog. That being said, if there was going to be one, Evo ADC and Pyro
I mean,
Blitz
last week,
is a pretty strong contender.
last week for Leg was not really a showing that you're super proud of. If you're just in general, I think a lot of people expected this team to be a little bit more cohesive out of the gate, but introducing 2 players on that top side can shake a lot of things up. I'm pretty sure both of them are really close to Troll. I know Andersign is a friend of Troll's, so really making sure that that friendship is kind of helping with the synergy. Make sure you're not fighting. That's the thing with friends on teams. Sometimes they tend to fight with each other. They tend to, butt heads a little bit. So,
Yeah,
really working out some of those kinks, making sure that everybody is clicking. Really, the whole goal of this team should be: can I set up this bot lane for success again?
that's right. And there's also first game nerves as well. So that's something we need to remain mindful of, especially in terms of performing any kind of analysis. Because if we look at a team that's got 60% of a championship roster, if they struggle a little bit coming out of the gate, makes sense if you have some rookie players.
Some rookie players
And
and
rookie
pressure
players,
as well. Just
yeah,
having the pressure of, hey, we're the core from the previous team. Like we've got there's this pressure, there's this obligation to perform for people, right? And that's something that can really weigh you down in the early season where you're still trying to figure stuff out, still trying to get your feet hitting the ground. So like you said, you take these early weeks for all teams really with a grain of salt, because so much can change, so much can be built up throughout a season, throughout a format like this.
and speaking of championship players, I mean, Thrasher's team ended up cleaning house in the off-season tournament that we
Off-season tournament, not
ran.
real. Didn't
Off-season tournament
happen.
doesn't really matter, but Thrasher did an exceptional job as a team captain. It was his debut as a team captain, and his first season at Odyssey. I mean, number two, they they lost to this championship team. So if there's a player who understands and has some experience in championships as well, it's definitely going to be Thrasher.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see what he's able to do with this roster. He does have FCR Revenger from that previous showing with FFS
Yep.
in the last season, and was working closely with Pyroblitz in the offseason as well. So this should be a pretty interesting dynamic here, and we're going to just flash through the draft. I mean, these captains are so quick; they're able to draft instantly. We couldn't even see it. Wow.
Yeah, some interesting things
So
to point out here is top lane actually being rotated super early. I believe it's going to be top lane as I know Cirque, massive Mordekaiser player, had such a good showing on it last week. Really, really showing, kind of the upper extremities of what that champion can do. The just absolute nuisance that champion is when you try and engage on top of him. Just lives so long. That being said, is going to be responded with the Aatrox here for TK Ninja. Not a player I'm too familiar with, but I know that a Scion is something to be feared, and it seems like Bushy Boys recognize that and actually banned it away.
that's right. We have a lot of pretty classic characters going into the hands of players who they're
Yeah.
very comfortable on. For example, Sedatin on this Redata class. That's a
One
staple
thing,
pick for him.
one thing not very
Uh,
classic though is Ace on this Ezreal. Like if you talk to Ace, these caster AD carries are not really something that he tends to lean towards. So I'm interested to see what the rationale is behind that. If he's got something cooking up, but for the
I,
most
I, I,
part,
I I think it's kind of out of necessity. You're sort of forced into the Ezreal here. If you're expecting a Twitch pick out of Theo, Twitch is probably Theo's best AD carry that he just performs incredibly
exactly.
well on this character. He's able to clean up platinum solo queue on Twitch and many of his Odyssey games too.
Yeah, I have
So I
no
think
doubt that Ace can pilot it. It's just not when I
yeah,
think of that bot lane from the previous season. It's not what I think about, right? I think about the Vayne that came out in finals. I think about the Jinx that we saw throughout multiple times during that season.
yeah,
That's what I think about when I think Ace in the whole. I think about the Caitlyn. Obviously, it was banned here, so not something that could be picked. But it's those really just hyper carries coming out from Ace that I think about. So a different look definitely for him, but very capable player. So interested to see how he pilots it, what he's able to get done on it throughout this game.
that's right. Thrasher ends up picking up his iconic Viego, and we also have Pyro Blitz on the Mubu. Pyro is very comfortable on engaged tanks. Very comfortable in
This
that
is
bot lane,
this has
just
been a
getting in
pick.
there and CCing people.
Yeah, this has been a pick that Pyro's been leaning towards a lot recently. I know in scrims and stuff like that, as well as solo queue, he's been leaning towards that Amumu a decent amount. It is a champion that has gotten nerfed a little bit since it was like really strong around MSI last year, about a year ago. But
Mhm.
Mumu, with the double bandage shots on the Ezreal, if you are able to bandage shots one of them, right, and he's able to buffer it, you have the second one right away. So definitely a really strong matchup, even into Renata Glass as well, because one of the things that people don't realize against Renata is if you, let's say you bandage shots onto the carry, you kill him, but then the Renata bailout is there, right? You just bandage toss onto the bailout, and the bailout can't do enough damage to be able to get that revive, that
Right.
bailout essentially. So
Mhm.
the double bandage toss really strong versus Renata, and as well a mobile AD carry. You get two chances to be able to hit that CC onto the Ezreal.
Yeah, there's parts about both these team compositions that I'm excited for, and parts of them I'm a little concerned about. On one hand, Renata is amazing into Viego because you can essentially say, nope, no reset for you. I'm gonna drop my bailout on top of whoever you're engaging on top of, as well as hostile takeover is just such a powerful, incredibly strong anti-dive tool, and in the worst case scenario can turn your Twitch into a flanker who's going to shoot through your entire team. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
kind of like a high, like a pipe dream situation to occur. Typically, you're using it just to buy yourself some space, maybe hit 1 or 2 targets with the auto attack your allies effect of it. But on the other side, we have Revenger playing Vigar, a character he's very comfortable piloting. Vigar can scale out of control.
And
Cage offers a lot of flexibility for
Vigar
his
has
team.
been historically a very, very good answer into Ari, because if Ari ever tries to get in close with, with those dashes onto the Vigar, he can just cage around himself and the Ari, and the Ari's kind of stuck in close quarter with the Vigar, not where she wants to be. She wants to keep you at this arm's length, but in LCS, in LCK, it's been a massive answer at the very, very top level. So a little bit of a draft win there, and Viego as well has been an answer to Wukong. Right, he's able to contest Wukong through all points in the game, able to consistently be able to duel with him, turn everything into a skill matchup versus him when Wukong really wants to excel at those 1v1s. So across the board, just
Yeah.
very, very strong laning matchups on the side of Bushy Boys. It's on Troll's team, the Legional Watchers, here to kind of bring it all together in a cohesive unit, because individually I feel like they're pretty outmatched lane for lane in terms of just pure counter vacuum matchups.
Yeah. This should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see what these teams end up deciding on, and this, and a question that always comes to my mind when I enter a game like this is, one, how's the support going to play this? We have 2 very proficient support players here. Are they going to go for more of the roam style and try to get their whole team ahead and maybe roam with their jungler? They're going to go for lane kingdom. 2, which side of the map is the jungler going to prioritize? Are they going to go for top lane and attempt to get a snowballing 1v1 situation going with a strong split pusher? Or are they going to camp bot? Or are they going to power farm? And so these sorts of questions begin to elude what the team plan is and what the strategy is going in,
Yeah,
which I always find very interesting.
I feel like if Viego were to prioritize box, it's gonna be really hard to lock down this Ezreal. When you think about Twitch, so much of his damage is tied into that proximity effect. Twitch gets so much attack speed the closer he is to his target, so he really, really wants to try and maximize that. Ezreal, on the other hand, wants to try and stay as far away as possible, but it looks like these top laners want to do the exact opposite, getting up close and personal. So taking the massive level 1 trade, gets to level 2 as well, gonna connect with the grasp. Pyro, bandage toss onto Sedatin, gonna be there, ace in the hole, gonna be pushed away from the handshake on Sedatin.
Really well played there out of the Renata. Oftentimes you end up taking E on Renata so that you can get a little bit of poke and shielding down. But Zidane electing for the handshake instead, just to say, hey, you're an engaged support, I can just toss you away.
Yeah, I mean,
and that actually provides us with more value.
Sedatin doing the right thing, right? Where he doesn't actually level an ability until he has to, until he's forced to. So,
right.
Coming in clutch, they're able to push that Twitch away. Like I said earlier, that proximity effect. He wants to get up close and personal for as much DPS. So keeping him off your Ezreal, keeping him as far away as possible is going to be the key.
Completely agree with that. It looks like Ace is stacking this wave up a little bit. This should actually favor the Ezreal Renata lane because it doesn't give a Boom many opportunities to get on top of this. And it looks like Vigo is on the other side of the map, so there really isn't any risk or threat of getting 3v2'd in the midst of your minion wave, which is typically an okay spot to be in, but it's one that you don't want to.
Troll's gonna be pressured out of his jungle here. Yeah, Thrasher able to smite that one away, just walk in and take whatever he wants with that top prio, the Mordekaiser, just helping out his jungler here. We talked about the supports teaming up with the jungle. We didn't really expect the top laner to be able to do it. Grace of use a prio there. Tika Ninja here. The ethereal change gonna connect, pull him back, Cirque right into his death. First blood here onto the Aatrox Troll. Let's see what that one takes. A gromp for a top laner, a trade that you will take all the time if you are Legion.
And even scarier, that's an Aatrox with first blood. Aatrox with any kind of a weak can just become a menace, a drain tank who's able to kill your team at the same time. That is a terrifying target for that. Cirque immediately teleporting into the top lane. And even with an item advantage, is just getting clapped by the Aatrox here.
Gonna connect here onto Sedatin. Has to force over the wall. The flash follow. Great display of mechanics there from Sedatin with the stun. The possess as well. Handshake is available for Thrasher. She chooses to use it. Just gonna walk away. Thrasher Handshake gonna go wide on the troll. The Wukong is here, gonna try and clean up, but it's a 3v2. They really shouldn't be looking for this. Just trying to crash the wave, get it in, but it's gonna be so hard.
I think Ninja can actually win that into the Mordekaiser there, assuming cooldowns are up. But yeah, just going to recall, maybe get a teleport in. Is he baiting him?
Troll, Warrior
Cancel
Trickster.
there out of troll.
Yep, Warrior Trickster going forward.
Wait, directed cam. Go to the top lane. Okay, never mind. They're not fighting.
Trickster Cam is not about it.
It's like, what? No, don't troll me. Yeah, this is just like we talked about in the previous game. This is the optimal. But
TK Ninja into Cirque, but that's not really what you want there. It's gonna be forced to base. Doesn't have the teleport. TK Ninja that does. So this could be a massive tempo advantage here for the side of this Aatrox.
This is precisely why you want to stop your lane in that spot if you're ahead. If you can just walk at the other top laner and beat them through their minions, if right where Aatrox had that wave, it is optimal because one, you're safe from the other jungler, but two, your kill pressure is so much higher. There's so much more lane for you to chase the other top laner through. And so TKD Ninja just got himself a massive lead in this top lane, picks up the Merc treads.
Speaking of massive leads, I want to point out this farm difference in jungle. Double the CS of this Wukong for Thrasher and able to base. Gonna go for that crit Viego there with that Noon Quiver. So definitely gonna index towards something like that Shield Bow, something like that Kraken Slayer.
That's scary. That's a that's an item combo, especially with Thrasher's proficiency on Viego, who can just take over the game. You might not need one of your top laners or one of your solo laners to get a lead if you can just get it for yourself.
So far ahead. Gonna try and get the solo kill. The Ethereal Chain's gonna connect. Gonna pull Cirque back in, but Thrasher is there to bail out his top laner. Truck's gonna use the World Ender. Gonna be able to get away. Trying to trade back here onto Cirque. 1v2. Heartbreaker gonna slow him up. The shield. The Unbreakable Will from Mordekaiser. Just gonna do enough. Just gonna keep him alive to be able to trade. Not even trade. He didn't even die. So just gonna do enough to be able to get Thrasher that kill.
And that's what we're talking about. Thrasher has a huge lead, massive item advantage. In that kind of situation, I was getting a little nervous for Cirque, but I mean, hey, the Aatrox might be ahead, but he's not that far ahead. He didn't buy a lot of damage, and so because of that, his turn potential is a little muted.
Yeah.
In Aatrox, in that same situation with some more AD, is able to just deal a bunch of damage to both of them. And whoa!
I don't think he expected the Mordekaiser to be there. Gonna be forced to flash over the wall.
Yeah, talk about top jungle duos. We don't often see that. On the other side of the map, though, it looks like Sadat and Ace in the Hole are able to pick up some plates just off of all that extra attention on the top side of the map. So even though this has been a top and mid focused jungle pathing and mostly a focus there from the junglers, Leg's bot lane is still getting themselves a nice advantage from all of that extra attention. As Troll maybe didn't want to go that direction, force the flash and run away from Thrasher. Yeah,
Troll tried to get a little tricky there, but Pyro saw right there with the beta shots. Ari gonna ult right into the cage. That's why that matchup is so good. Sadat gonna be charmed up, pulled into the enemy team. Thrasher is there. No matter who you are or what you play, Thrasher is gonna be there. He's gonna get fed.
And Thrasher's gonna take your soul and just play as your champion too. That's the thing about Thrasher on Viego is he has a ton of experience, plays all sorts of different champions. He's a jungler who literally can play everything, and that kind of pneumatic, that plastic play style lends itself well to Viego because when you pick up a soul, ideally you're able to do some productive stuff before you end up dropping your R again and going back to your Viego form.
Yep,
Thrasher's very scary on this.
Cirque. With Mordekaiser, that kill is all he needed. Starting to trade back here onto that Aatrox. Anderson going to walk directly into the cage. Going to take a chunk of damage as a parting gift.
And give Vigar a little bit of AP.
Yeah, mid lane Pyro here for Revenger.
Looks like a massive 1v1 there. In the Death Realm, can Aatrox wait this out? Ult afterwards. I'm not sure if Mordekaiser steals any stats from the Aatrox R, but gets dropped. What a 360 or in this top lane. It went from
Well,
Mordekaiser
a 180.
completely
A
ahead.
360
No,
would
no,
be.
no. It went to 360. Mordekaiser was ahead, flipped to Aatrox far ahead, and now it's flipped back to Mordekaiser being far ahead.
Gotcha.
We're back to where we started in this game, Meepa.
That's a
Mord was like clapping him at level 1.
Yeah, you're right. Aatrox selecting to go for the Dirk. Gonna be able to get a lot of early damage here, but he's gonna be super squishy. I'm not sure if that's something that you really want here into the Viego. I think you prefer a little bit of Dingus Intercept going to elect to go aggressive. The ult coming down, maybe a little bit too early. Ignite taking away. Anderson Flash on a Revenger trying to finish off that one. Gonna come up empty-handed though. Cirque and Thrasher, that top lane duo, back at it again, starting up that Rift Herald. So maybe a little bit over aggressive from Richard, but it's flash to flash at the end of the day. So
I actually think as the Ahri in this situation, you kind of have to play that way. It's just so not favored for you, and you are on time pressure. Ideally, you get your team in on this, as Pyro is maybe a bit further than he wants to. Massive mummy ult over the top, and Ahri is trapped in the cage right now, but is able to just sidestep out between each of those. Oh,
Heartbreaker gonna come out, gonna close the distance. Possess is there. Reset City. Nope. Bonk. Shutdown coming
Thrasher
up for Troll.
waited out the bailout so that the Ahri didn't get a resurrection there, as Revenger is just able to walk away. Oh, that's all right, Troll.
Missed time there from Troll.
Slightly missed time. We know what you're trying to do there, and I'm not sure he had the distance to catch that Vigar anyway.
Cirque waiting in the bushes is on vision, so TK Ninja does know that is taking this fight on his own accord. A trigger change, gonna connect, gonna pull that Mordekaiser backwards. Was just gonna be a disengage. I don't think TK Ninja can actually continue with this trade. Does have a big wave though.
And this is where you want to fight the Mordekaiser, if at all, with your back to your minions so that he doesn't get isolation Q damage. And your minions are going to help you out with a little bit of return damage. But Cirque, more than happy just to pick up these minions. TK Ninja maybe just doesn't want to go back to base.
Should go back to base.
Perfectly fine there.
Ace in the hole.
Just showing off Ezreal things. Oh, I'm completely overextended and pushing into a Twitch. You can just invisible on top of me. Doesn't matter.
As a basic ability.
On a 28-second cooldown, -1 for every time I hit a Q, which is often. Ezreal's a fun champion. It looks like we have an early Bork completed from this Twitch. I like that pickup. It gives him plenty of one-shot potential. Revenger is just going to demonstrate one-shot potential. Goodbye, Ahri.
I didn't see her.
Yeah, no. I think the Ahri DC'd.
Oh, dang. Unfortunate,
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate here. Yeah.
120 stacks here for Revenger. So
is that a lot of stacks? I actually don't know how fast Vigar is
neither
supposed
do
to
I.
stack
I
passive.
just see big number and I'm like, yep, that's worth saying. He's got 3 digits. Has to be big.
Oh my god,
pulling
Pyro.
in Amumu, but Amumu says, fuck it, we ball, and waiting on Sedatin as well. Thrasher gonna actually be picked. That Viego does a lot of damage, but is so squishy with that build. The double kill coming over Ace in the hole, showing that he is the ace for his team. Flash gonna be failed from Theo.
Theo attempting to get a quick cleanup kill, then get out, but ends up throwing away goal back into the pockets of Leg. Really good play there. And right before Sedatin went down on that Hourglass, he made sure to drop a bailout on his jungler. So even if Theo pulled a rabbit out of a hat and was able to turn that fight harder, he would still be able to get a resurrection.
For sure.
As Cirque is forced to flash away from this Aatrox to prevent himself from being
180.
dragged to his death. Yeah, right. This top lane just been all over the place.
I can't do math. What is that? That's a 540.
It's a 540. The world's first 540 top
560?
lane. No, you were
540.
right. 540, yeah.
540.
Don't do math on broadcast.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Your brain literally shuts off.
This top lane is spinning like my brain right now.
Oh no, poor Sedatin.
Sedatin with the handshake, but the only thing he's gonna have to shake off is another death as he gets sent back to the Fountain Dragon. Gonna go over to Thrasher and the Bushy Boys. I don't like saying Bushy Boys. I feel like there's a weird connotation there.
I agree. I think that's what Thrasher was going for.
Yeah.
But hey,
I don't know.
you could say BBS, right? That just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, We need to get rid of innuendos as your team name.
Not only that, we should get rid of innuendos as a society. There should be no innuendos ever. Say
True.
what you mean. Don't imply anything. No subtext.
Yeah, I agree. Everything needs to be obvious.
hmm Used to be simple.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
Uh,
And then TikTok happened, and we started using wheat speech or wheat. What was that called? Wheat text.
what is that?
It's like what it's where you use numbers in the place of letters. It's like you use like a 3 instead of an E as a. Is this another 180-degree turn on the top lane?
I don't know at this point.
Is this a 720 at this point? I can't even keep track.
Power Blitz gonna lock up Troll there. Arcane Barrage gonna be dodged away from with that Warrior Trickster Circ. Trading heavily here onto this Aatrox. Is that a bug? Does he still have his stats? Is it until he dies?
It has that.
I don't know how that works. How long does he keep it on?
He keeps it until the Aatrox comes back. That's a
But Aatrox is
visual
back.
bug. Yeah, it's a visual bug.
It's a visual
It
bug.
has to be.
Riot. Fix Riot.
No, small indie company. They don't have the resources
right.
to fix that.
All the resources are going towards Arcane Season 2, which is not
That's
coming
right.
out this year, by the way, in case you got your hopes up.
I'd never get my hopes up when it comes to Riot.
Death Realm.
Oh, TKD able to sidestep that
Decimating Smash.
that midnight. The swing from midnight. The mace of Mordekaiser's. Thrasher says, "Heyo, I'm here," and just two shots.
Imagine coming out of Brazil and
shots
you're
to
just
Aatrox.
met with a Thrasher. That would suck. It's like
Imagine coming out of anywhere and being met by a Thrasher. I would scream as troll.
yeah, you just got done traveling, you got that jet lag, and then Thrasher's just there. Just takes you for a ride. Troll gonna get the bailout, but it's not gonna amount to much. Thrasher gonna clean that one up as well.
Yeah, I think Sedatin is just SVB Bank in this game. He's just getting, bailout v bailout v bailout, and it just doesn't really matter.
It just doesn't really matter, does it? Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Charm gonna go
Imagine-
wide.
Imagine me thinking that Renata is a counter pick to Viego. Thrasher was like, I took that personally. I'm offended.
I mean, Thrasher just kills him twice. Easy.
Exactly. Thrasher's like, I'm gonna build crit Viego so I can do that.
Gonna claim the Rift Herald here as the Twitch going aggressive. A early bailout coming out onto Ace in the hole. Build cooldown. Gonna be missing here. As bot lane has been completely abandoned. But, Theo gonna go collect the wave. Gonna make sure that all is not lost in that bot lane.
All is
Clean
not
up crew.
lost.
That's what Twitch is basically, right? He's just a cleanup crew.
And he's also Engage and Assassin.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, he's also the team's 401k because he scales really well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Twitch is kind of everything. Twitch is the AD carry mains AD carry.
Gotcha.
Only true AD carry players
Yeah, do you play Twitch?
can pull that. Of course not. I'm not a true AD carry
Oh,
player.
you're right.
We know this. We know this.
Gotcha. The
I'm
Varus,
like-
the Varus one trick, not really AD carry. Basically a caster mage at that point.
Exactly. I'm a mid lane wannabe. I only
Yeah,
play
speaking
characters who
of
are
the
like.
assassin. Twitch lurking.
Speak
in
of
the
mid
darkness.
lane wannabes. Theo is like, wait, I can outplay this.
Oh no!
Oh,
He tried to predict where Viego was. The Heartbreaker gonna come out. The flash being forced from
Good flash.
Anderson is indeed a good flash. Make sure that Viego doesn't get another kill in his pocket.
yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about these really highly technical characters like Ari. Ari is so threatening when her E is off cooldown. Second you throw that ability out, you are half a champion. Same thing with Blitzcrank and Thresh and a lot of the support style characters, and so it's incredibly important to hold that until you can guarantee you're going to hit it. But hey, I like the effort. This has been this has been a pretty hard game for the mid lane.
Game
as
slowed
Ari's
down a
definitely
little
been
bit.
trying
Thrasher
to get
gonna
ahead.
drop this Herald. Just gonna get the solo gold here.
Honestly, if you're Thrasher, that might be the best place for it.
Yeah, don't need a team.
5
You're
and
Viego.
2.
You just turn into the enemy champs.
Exactly.
That's the thing though with Viego, right? Like if you're so far ahead of the enemy team when you accidentally if you possess one of their champs, you just nerf yourself, right?
No, because he built crit. So he steals the Wukong or the Ezreal, then he gets to like double up his auto attacks. Instantly proc his Kraken over and over again.
Well, no, he steals their items.
Oh, he steals their items?
Yeah. He steals their exact build, level, everything.
Oh, yeah, he is just nerfing himself then. What? It's actually bad.
Right,
like,
balance.
you don't actually
The
want to
flash
get
on
kills.
top of TKD Ninja. We're discussing that the 1v1 is happening. Gonna be a solo kill there for Cirque. Dragon actually stolen by Ace in the hole. Thrasher has been so good this entire series, but just one miss might be what it takes. Ace in the hole popping off the Twitch, trying to free fire ignite, coming down, airy damage on top, the ghost away, trying to do what he can, trying to run for his life. The whole team, the whole goon squad. Trying to chase him down, but Twitch.
I think Theo gets out of here. Oh, caster curse. Spoke. Whoa.
Huh? Oh, the charm.
Hits that charm. Shut down goes over to this Ari.
Ace
Major gold
in
influx.
the hole. Showing up on the Ezreal. We
5-0.
doubted him in chaps. Like, can this guy play Ezreal? Honestly, for 20 minutes, didn't look like it. But
he looked up Ezreal on LoL Wiki.
yeah, he
at
pulled up.
1905.
He pulled
was
up a
like,
skill cap video.
Yeah, was watching that in the background before you
Not
know it.
sponsored.
He's 5-0.
But like,
Not sponsored.
you
But,
should.
like,
You guys should
but
use skill
call
cap.
us. Call us.
Yeah. If you're bad,
Skill
you should
cap-
use skill cap because like they kind
No,
of
no,
know.
skill cap should call us because
Yeah,
we'd
right,
love to
no
get
free
sponsorship
promo.
from them. No free promos. Yeah, no.
You too can be like Ace in the hole. See, you got this all. Dude, dang, we should get sponsored.
This game is brought to you by Ace in the Hole Gaming.
But you by Ace in the hole. He needs to change his name to like just another ADC's ultimate. I want Ace in the
Oh
hole
my
to be
God,
Super
our-
Mega Death Rocket.
True Shot Barrage. No. True Shot's Barrage Smite or something. I don't know because he uses it as
He
a
changes
smite.
his name to whatever AD carry he's playing. It's like, the Lux Elementalist skin where you select whichever one you want. It's that, but Ace just changes his name right before he gets it a champ select.
For every Odyssey game too. His troll just wah.
I will
Great
fund that.
escape.
Yep. TKD Ninja using the World Ender. Gonna just try and get the Moose Speed. The stun, however, gonna connect from Thrasher. Damage coming out, but he's gonna be able to get away. No, if Ace wants to do that, I will fund it with the skill cap money that we're definitely not getting, but should be getting.
We should be getting it actually. I've watched more than.
Then we're
5
sponsored by
skill
Ace in
cap
the Hole
videos.
while I'm
Good.
sponsoring Ace in the Hole. Troll. Gonna use the Cyclone to try and get out, but Thrasher is there. The problem, that is Thrasher XD56.
He's the 56th version of Thrasher.
True.
All the 55 before him, they were ground up.
Yeah, it's every time he
Thrasher
possesses
56 ate him.
every time he possesses a soul on Viego, it adds a number. So he's actually like Thrasher 71 right now or something like that. It's crazy. Well, he's actually
Oh, this isn't like a Chat GPT kind of situation. Like
No,
he's the
no.
56th ML.
he's Thrasher 68 right now because he's got 6 kills, so he's possessed 12 times.
Heard.
He's almost Thrasher 69. Evo ADC.
Wow.
Is it gonna be Thrasher 69? Enter sign. Gonna fall. It's
Thrasher 69
Thrasher 69.
with a 50 CS lead.
Wait, did I
on
do the
Wukong.
math right? I don't think I did. No, I did.
I don't think you did.
I did.
Wait.
56 plus 13. Yes, I did it.
Oh.
Thrasher 70? Thrasher 70.
Picks up another soul. He's been Renata Glasgow a lot this game.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just pointing out an interesting fact. What have you said?
Yep, 4K gold
This-
lead here on the side of BVS.
They're definitely climbing ahead of them, ahead of Leg in this game. That being said, Leg is sitting on 2 dragons. It's looking pretty good for them. This Aatrox is able to compete in the side lane. He has been falling behind in the 1v1s with Mordekaiser, and especially with Jock Show plus Rywise. Ooh, don't want to be this Aatrox in this incoming 1v1 right here, because TKD Ninja has never turned away from an opportunity to fight. The top laner's top laner.
Yeah, 1 level down though on this Aatrox. It does have wave, but You know, that's
Yeah,
not really a
I think
fight.
recalling here is wise. Oh,
Troll
Troll.
going
Troll
over the
thinks he's
wall. Ace in
gonna.
the hole is there. Thrasher is on top of him. Handshake gonna pull him away. Troll onto Evo ADC. Just get rid of that Twitch. That's massive. The possess though is gonna dodge the hostile takeover there. Ace in the hole. He's dead.
Shutdown going over to the Vygar too. That's massive. Help accelerate him into a Zonia so that he can survive this dive and turn around and get a second combo down in later team fights. Really well played. That looked like a textbook collapse for BBS. It's kind of funny that that Troll called an ambulance, but not for him. Immediately deleted the Twitch, who got a little bit too close to that Wukong. But being able to clean up Ace in the hole on the back end of that fight was huge for BBS's odds in this game.
Yeah, Thrasher's a missed 2 smites in a row.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure.
That's Thrasher
going
72.
For...
You better watch how you talk to him. Wait.
I'm not sure going for
73.
a 1% kind of play like that was in the best interest of Leg. I kind of think they're losing discipline here and are throwing good money after bad. This kind of a situation
money?
you really wanted.
They're 5K gold behind.
They've got 41,000 gold, Mipa. That counts.
Yeah,
as
but
money.
it's all spent. They got nothing to throw. What are they
They've
throwing?
got money.
They're throwing
They have
control
money in
wards
their,
at
in their
them.
inventories and their lives. The Aatrox threw himself into the dragon. They threw 300
Pocket
gold
change.
at them.
Look, 58 gold on the Ari, nothing.
You heard it here, here first, folks. Mipa doesn't think 58 is the number.
No.
That's technically gold.
No, the only number I know is Thrasher 73.
When did this become like Sesame Street? Like, did you just become the count? 73.
I don't know.
The count, the from Sesame Street.
No. I gotta keep counting, or I'm gonna. It's the only thing keeping me sane right now.
I think Sirk is having a time of his life. He was like, wait,
What is that
wait.
orb?
That's Brazil.
Oh, Brazil summons
That-
orbs.
That's the Christo Risen. Wait, what's that called? The Christ statue in Brazil.
Gotcha.
But
Christ
like
the
the
Redeemer.
Yeah, Christ Redeemer, but in not English.
Sudatin gonna come out with
huge.
the bailout. Handshake gonna go forward, but it's not gonna be enough. Bandage toss from Amumu gonna clean up with that curse. Gonna do so much damage. Double kill over to Theo.
Looks like Sirk cleaned up the Ari on the back end of that too.
Yeah, Ace cannot be getting
Huge.
picked in these fights. You know, their name might be Leg, but the only thing they're standing on right now is Ace's wallet. The only person in this game who's really had a foothold, able to do damage so far. Baron gonna be going over to Thrasher.
Thrasher doesn't miss
Yeah.
smites until he does.
Yeah,
But they
Thrasher
made sure that
76
Ezreal
is
was
looking
dead.
scary.
Oh my god, he's like Soldier 76,
True, Thrasher XD 76.
and he's been hit scanning too. He's been hitting everything in this game.
That is true.
I'm sure he's deleting them. DPS Thrasher on 4 items right now, Mipa. That is a scary jungler. I think
Yeah, speaking of
highest farm in
items,
the game.
Speaking of items, 3 items here on the Vygar, but you know what item I don't see? A Rabadon's.
I don't see Rabadon's either.
Where's a Rabadon's? You gotta build Rabadon's on the champion, I'm telling you.
I think for this game state, Zonia's makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure Rabadon's buys you a lot here. But I don't see Seraph's Embrace very often on Vygar. Kind of a little curious about that, but hey, I mean, I'm not a Vygar player. It could be legit. I would never play that champion.
Desperately trying to clear out the mid lane here from that Arcane Barrage. But the tower is going to go down regardless. 4-man siege here. But Endersign is wrapping. It's going to be on Vision, though. He's going to get collapsed on Pyroblitz. Going to be walking up alongside Thrasher. Holding hands here. Trying to cut off this Ari. Will he be able to get away? The mobility. I'm talking about this really hype chase that's happening. And we're just looking at the top laners fight.
For the 20th time this game.
Yeah, Ari does get away, though. Ari gets away. Ari gets away. So, it's okay.
Houdini in the game confirmed.
True.
BBS is just flying ahead of Leg at this point. Over a 10k gold lead. They're going to crack open this inhibitor. Oh, huge charm there, just hitting Revenger through the midst of his entire team, almost getting
A massive
yeeted.
hostile takeover actually coming out alongside the Cyclone. That's so much CC for the side of Leg, but the damage just isn't there. Anderson trying desperately to get the bailout, but Theo is there, the cleanup crew, the Twitch.
Oh my god, the Aatrox getting like 2-tapped by this Vigard too. I think Leg's opportunity in this game is drawing to a
Aatrox-
close here.
Aatrox popped World Ender, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. It's just Leg's world that is getting shattered as the game is in the hands here. Shutdown coming out for Sedatin, but, you know, it's a parting gift.
Trying to, make him feel a little bit better. But hey, those were some juicy Renata Rs.
Yeah, can't be having
If
can't
it
be
w-
having a Meepa KDA for real.
No, for real.
To pad the stats.
Oh. What an impressive showing there out of BBS though. Thresher came to play. Thresher said, "Hey, look at me. I can do everything. I could be a power ganker. I could be a power farmer, and I can also be a power team fighter. Get my team really far ahead."
XD81 can do it all.
The rest of the lanes on BBS did a great job. Top lane was extremely scrappy. Good job on Cirque for not getting demoralized at some of those plays that didn't end up going his way and sticking it out till the end. This was a fun one.
Yep, for sure. That's all we have for today. These are the 3 games. I will see you guys next week. I have been Meepa alongside Solar on the cast. Thank you all for watching.
Have a great evening, folks. Thanks for tuning in.